Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a ball joint flip on my truck, as currently the bump stops are hitting the control arms basically whenever the suspension moves, and I want to remedy that before I put any aftermarket shocks on. So here you can see our bump stop. It's that right there, and it's pretty much already on the control arm, and the goal is to just make that not the case anymore. Shouldn't be too hard given we're going to get about an extra ½ inch of suspension travel, which should at least help with the issue. I may switch to some shorter bump stops in the future depending on how this goes and how much suspension travel I really need, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get the wheels off, and then I'm gonna get the spindle off, and then I can unbolt the ball joints and then flip them. Okay, so on the other side, I did a kind of poor job explaining exactly what this does. So here's future me explaining to you what it does. So, on the top for the ball joint flip, really all you're gonna have to do is just take the ball joint from the bottom here, move it up, and have it be still facing down. You're not actually flipping the ball joint to be like that. All you're doing is just flipping it to the upper side of the control arm. For the upper control arm, all you have to do, put it on top, bolt it up on the bottom. That simple. On the bottom, however, there's this little hump right here, as you can see, and that, hold on if it'll focus, is this right here. It needs to come off, because if you try and put the ball joint, the lower ball joint on, you can see it's not even close to fitting. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a grinder, plasma cutter, whatever you want. You're gonna cut this off, then you're gonna bolt the lower ball joint to there, and then you're gonna have about ½ an inch of lowering, and that's really about it. It's fairly simple. that I have the ball joint flip done on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the other side. Put the wheels back on, then lower it down. Then we can adjust the torsion bars so that I can get that extra little bit of suspension travel back, because now it's gonna be about a ½ inch lower. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then you'll see when I lower the truck down. So I just took the truck on a test drive after doing the ball joint flip. It's about ½ inch lower, and I actually ended up having this tire, I'm pretty sure, contact that fender. I do believe that it's the right decision to move back up. I'm gonna start out with 1/4 inches, and then I might, after this video goes up, move up to a ½ inch higher just to get back to where it was if I'm still noticing contact. So I've got the truck fully jacked up now, but before I did that, I measured the distance between the ground and the top of the fender as the truck was sitting, so that I know the height of the truck beforehand. Obviously the number is going to be way different now that it's up in the air and it's all drooping, but it's a good thing to do that so that you know where you're starting off at, and then you can find either, if you're adjusting the torsion bars to get drop, how much drop you're looking for, or how much of a slight amount of lift you can get from this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get under the truck and show you exactly what you need to do to get it higher or lower depending on what you're doing. So I'm underneath the passenger side of the truck right now, and I'm going to show you exactly where the bolt is to tighten the torsion bar or loosen it. If you're loosening it, you're going to get a drop. I'm tightening it so that I can get about 1/4 inch of height back from what I did with the ball joint flip. Now, this is going to be a 17mm bolt, just that one right here, and then on the other side, it's just opposite of this one. And it's pretty simple to find it. You just look for that long bar that goes to the front of the truck at the suspension, and then you find this bolt right here, and that's your torsion bar preload. And then tightening that is going to get you higher, loosening that is going to let you get a bit lower. Now, I wouldn't recommend loosening this too much because it's a bolt and it can come out, and so you will end up eventually pulling that bolt out and not having anything holding your torsion bar on that part if you're not careful. I would recommend counting the turns that you do, not using a torque spec or not just going until you think it's correct, because that could end up in you just not knowing where your truck is going to sit at all. Now, in my case, I had to loosen the passenger side more because for some reason it's slightly stiffer on this side than it is on the driver's side. So the passenger side compresses less when someone sits in it compared to the driver's side. So I just made this one lower so that I can account for the weight of a person driving. I'm just going to go ahead and start with a ½ turn of tightening, see where that gets me, and then adjust from there. All in all, I ended up turning the torsion bars 2 times in order to get that 1/4 inch of height. Another thing is I wouldn't recommend doing probably more than like a 4-inch drop using the torsion bar preload loosening. For that, I would recommend using re-indexing of the torsion bars instead, which has a similar effect but just not the same risk of the bolt falling out. And that's going to be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.